Hello guys, today we will be talking about the German Haenel MK556A2 assault rifle supplied by Germany. So what it is, it's your standard AR-15 with gas pistol. So I'm old enough to remember the discussion what is better, the direct impingement guns or the short stroke gas piston guns. I personally prefer short stroke gas piston, but still the DI guns are relevant to this day. This is an attempt of Haenel to be awarded contract for the rearmament of German army after the brief scandal with G36 assault rifles, where the claim was that under intense firefight, after firing some number of magazines, there is massive decrease in accuracy. So the German army, Bundeswehr, decided around 2020 to do a new contract for supply of main assault rifle to the German army. This version, the MK556, was also revealed just before the contract. Before that, Haenel was making its civilian version that was called CR223. It used pretty much the same system. They made only some very slight adjustments to this final version for the contract. I remember the entire industry at that time was shocked because Haenel actually won the contract, and it was huge because the talks were around 120,000 assault rifles to rearm the Bundeswehr. But Heckler and Koch, that is usually expected to be the favorite in those trials for Bundeswehr, filed the complaint that they actually copied some of the key features from their HK416, specifically over the beach capability. So what that is are some drain holes in the buffer tube. Was there some merit to that? I don't really know. Anyway, it ended up that the final contract was actually awarded to Heckler and Koch. So there were definitely some problems. One of the problems might be the ownership structure, because Haenel is owned by Caracal, that is in Saudi Arabia. Also, Caracal makes something that's called the C816, I believe. So if we go through the family of short stroke gas pistol operated ARs, we have the HK416, then some of the people left enter the 6 Sauer. They make 560 that I reviewed as well. That is absolutely fantastic rifle. And then that person left, went to Caracal, and they created the C816 that is said to be the absolutely top-notch. Anyway, I also read that Haenel was actually making some of the rifles for Caracal, since they are in the same ownership structure. But also the ownership structure might be actually the problem that basically disqualified this weapon. The information on the internet is that actually some weapons were supplied, specifically 5,000 of those to Bundeswehr, and the claim is that those are actually supplied to us. I'm not that sure about that because the serial number digit is slightly above 5,000 on this specific case. Also, most of them that I've seen are made in 2024, so who knows, maybe there was some settlement of German government buying still something for Haenel but preferring the HK instead, something like that. Anyway, now to the rifles. Those rifles were specifically to us supplied in kind of small numbers, but still you can find them around in pretty much every group, every team. But they became a little bit of a status symbol because, as you can see, it's a beautiful weapon. And also what is nice that in the set were included all those little attachments, including the red dot. So when we go from the front to the back, we have our classic A2 birdcage that is actually not enclosed on the bottom. The muzzle device does not use a crush washer. We can see the barrel profile, that it's like medium, maybe even heavy barrel profile. Then we have the handguard. So the handguard is M-lock. What is very nice is the locking mechanism. That look like so. After pressing the button, you just turn the lever downwards, can remove the handguard. I really like this solution in comparison to HK416 where it's just a bolt. This seems a bit more secure and a bit more elegant. Under the handguard you can actually see the gas block and see the gas piston. I was a little bit concerned that it's a little bit too open, that like debris can actually very easily reach the piston, but it never really became an issue when I talked with the guys that actually using those. Then we have the magazines. The magazine used in those are German made from Oberland Arms, and they are basically copies of Magpul, which was also one of the problems in contract, that Magpul I believe filed a complaint. Or maybe HK on behalf of Magpul complained about those, because as you can see the technical solution, this is pretty much Magpul. but they actually managed to settle this one down somehow. When we look at the mag well, you can see that it's flared a little bit, so why not? Nice detail. Then we have ambidextrous controls. So we have our classic mag release, we have also bolt release on the right side, and on the left side we have also bolt release and also mag release. You can see that the current user of this weapon worked before with MK556 because he used the old trick with the zip tie to basically disable mag release on this side, so you don't have magazine falling down under your feet when you basically just walk around with the weapon on a sling. Another curious feature is the safety. This is not your typical 90-degree safety, so now we have safe, now we have semi-auto, and now we have full auto, so it's a little bit more than 90 degrees. This seems to be the way to go currently, because some of the most modern SIG machine guns have it as well done in this way, instead of the traditional 90 degrees. And I really must say that it works. It's really cool, because when you go to the full auto, the lever is a little bit out of the way and you can still operate it pretty quickly. Then we have our ambidextrous charging handle. You can see that the detent for the charging handle is actually on both sides of the handle. And another interesting feature is that you can actually change this section that is made out of metal, not aluminium, where those hooks basically locking into. This goes in hand with the demand of Bundeswehr that wanted weapon that will withstand 30,000 rounds, with the lifetime of the barrel being 15,000 rounds. So you can see that they really tried to do maximum to achieve the longevity. So you can see that in the overall package you get fantastic gun. What is nice that any soldier that really don't need to be gun nerd, when we get it out of the box, he have his red dot sight, he have all the handles, backup mechanical sights, adjustable stock, and he really don't need to go to the shop and buy anything else. So that's opinion number one. For absolute majority of the soldiers this is fantastic. But then you have autistic people like me and probably like you, so now we will get a little bit to the criticisms. I remember distinctly in 2014 when guys were buying those FAB defense grips for their AKs basically for 1/3 of their wage. And I thought they are completely insane because this is one of the worst profiles for pistol grip. What we have now, we have 11 years later, and Haenel decided to put this grip on the gun as well, so I find that just crazy. Then you have the stock with this dubious nut with adjustable cheek riser. What is nice that actually when the stock is collapsed fully, you can still charge all the way, so they were thinking about that. Also there is this clothing company that also make those very high mounts, so when you buy from this clothing company the mount, you actually don't need to buy their proprietary cheek riser because you have it already here, so that's kind of nice. Also the backup sights seems kind of cheap, they are made out of plastic, but I think that's actually good because it keeps the weight down. Then we getting to the red dot sight supplied to this weapon, so this is Steiner T1 XI, I believe, yes. It have three types of reticles, so it have either circle, 60 MOA circle, or 2 MOA dot, or both of those basically pretending to be EOTech. You do your brightness adjustments on top with this, and the reticle selection by pressing this button. Here I'm a little bit biased because I absolutely hate all Steiner products. This goes back to the start of the conflict, where for donated money I bought from them some binoculars, numbers of binoculars, and a lot of them were broken out of the box. No, they were not copies, they were straight from Germany, but really the quality of Steiner is just horrendous. It's basically like on par of Holosun. Holosun actually might be better than those optics, but that does not mean that this is some inferior optic. It's a normal mid-range glass, that's it. Also you can see that the screw on the base actually snapped, so that's one more indicator of the Steiner quality. So the red dot is good to go. Maybe you can think a little bit about getting some better mount, because this one have the standard aimpoint T1, T2 interface, so you can put your unity whatever you want. So now we will take a look at the gun partially disassembled. So those are the Oberland Arms magazines. Just a Magpul knockoff, that's about it. Then we getting to the handguard, so you can see nice, you can even say probably low profile M-lock handguard. Here you have the retaining bolt, let's say, and you can actually adjust the tightness over here. It also have this security latch, so very good solution in my opinion. One of the best actually. Then we getting to the upper of the weapon, so you can see the relatively thick profile of the barrel. Gas block, non-adjustable actually. Then the profile is getting a little bit slimmer, and here you have the surface with the groove that basically the handguard is locking into. You can see how solidly it looks, and really the machining in all of the parts, it's absolutely exquisite, so no complaints there at all. The machining inside of the receiver, and of course we having our forward bolt assist as well. With the barrel out of the way, let's take a look at the piston. So here is the front part of the piston, and then you just have this portion going in like so. So as you can see, solid solution, and again the machining is just exquisite, and the fitting, it's very nice as well. Then we getting to the bolt. The bolt appeared to be chrome lined. Also I need to mention that the barrel is chrome lined as well with 1-to-7 twist, and the bolt look like so. The complete disassembly of the bolt is exactly the same like on any AR-15, only the bolt is spring loaded, so yeah, that's like a additional safety feature against slam fires. From bolt we can take a closer look at the charging handle. That look like so. It's comfortable, it works. Is it the most beautiful thing in the world? Absolutely not. And then we have the lower. Again, very nice machining, basically no machining marks at all. Beautiful finish. Also it have plastic handguard, winter handguard, so you can unfold it down in case that you're shooting with the mittens. So that's about it. Haenel MK556 A2 with 14.5-inch barrel. So what do I think overall about this weapon? Well, our armed forces have them around 1 year now, and pretty much everybody who used it like it. They complement the accuracy, they also complement the lightness. Because for example, the 6-hour 516, which is pretty much the same gun, it's fantastic gun as well, but it used the factory stock quad-rail handguard, and that really tend to add some weight. Here you basically get already M-lock, it's already shaved down, so why not? Is it something that would be that much better than anything else? Absolutely not. Is it one of the best options that we have currently available? Definitely yes.